Hello! Welcome back to Harry Has a Cocktail. Hello! Welcome back to Harry Has a Cocktail. This is episode 27. If you are a home bartender, such as myself, you find yourself occasionally with this dilemma. You want to try out different drinks, you want to make them for your friends, and oftentimes in looking for new drinks, you end up buying fairly obscure mixers that you might have trouble using again because you're not quite sure how to use them in the future. The drink I'm going to make today includes two ingredients that are kind of not used that often in your standard drinks that we Americans tend to drink. Our Manhattans and our martinis and our Cosmos. Do people still drink Cosmos? Our various other anything mixed with vodka and sweet juice. A lot of drinks sort of come in to fashion and go out of fashion. Like Heidi Klum says on Project Runway, although I don't think she's the host anymore. One day you're in and the next day you're out. The drink I'm going to make today is called the Aviation. Now the Aviation has been around for quite a while. It's one of those classic old-fashioned cocktails. It was originally made in the early 20th century. It's credited to a guy named Hugo Enslin. A few years ago I made this drink, I tried it, and I remember liking it quite a bit. But one of the things that the Aviation includes is Creme de Violette, a liqueur made with violets. You can see it sort of, yes, in the light, it has a purplish hue. It's very sweet, it's floral, as you can imagine, since it's from violets. You know, it's not used in a lot of drinks. It is mainly used in an Aviation. If you ask somebody about Creme de Violette, who knows anything about cocktails, they'll basically tell you it's used in an Aviation. So basically, I've had this bottle of Creme de Violette for, I don't know, 5 years. It took me a good 5 minutes to open this bottle because it was a little, it was pretty stuck up here with the sugar. The sugar kind of glued it shut. The other ingredient is an ingredient I've used here on the program a couple of times, Luxardo. Luxardo has been around for quite a long time. It was originally mixed and created in 1821 by an Italian family. And I actually went to their website earlier today, luxardo.it. Looked up a bunch of information on this, and they're just a really charming, great company. Luxardo is made from maraschino cherries. But the thing about Luxardo that's interesting is that it doesn't have an overpowering flavor of cherries. It does have a slight cherry taste to it, but it's not sweet. It's sort of more on the bitter end. It has a slightly spicy quality as well. When I was looking up different information on making the Aviation, I realized a couple of things. If you look up a recipe for any cocktail, a lot of times you'll look it up. Oh, look, the sun. The sun is coming in from behind the building there. Oh, lovely. Spring is on its way. Ah, I cannot wait till spring. So when you look up a recipe for any cocktail, you'll always find discrepancies just across the board. As I said before, this man, Hugo, invented the Aviation and he made it a certain way. And then a few years later, because Creme de Violette was hard to find, the bartenders just cut the Creme de Violette entirely. So you have to sort of wonder, is there a true recipe for any cocktail? A lot of it just comes down to your personal taste. I've talked before about gin martinis here, how I prefer a ratio of 3 to 1, 3 parts gin to 1 part vermouth, but that is not generally the way people like to drink their martinis these days. A lot of people want their martinis bone dry, which you just hover the bottle of vermouth over the top of the glass without even pouring anything in. And that to them is a dry martini, which is great. You can drink it however you want. And that is my point. You know, do whatever you want. There's a blueprint of how to make something, and then if you like it in a slightly different way, just play with it. That's what she said. Yes, here are the ingredients in an Aviation cocktail. First, we have gin. Now, one of the websites I was looking up Aviation said for an Aviation, you need a good strong gin. They used Plymouth. I couldn't find Plymouth today when I went out shopping, so I got another gin that I really like, which is Farmer's Organic Gin. Small batch organic. So, it says organic, so it's bound to be good, right? Then we've got Luxardo, maraschino liqueur. We have Creme de Violette. We are going to have lemon juice. And we are going to garnish it with a bada bing cherry. Bada bing. I found these last week at the store. I really like them. Bada bing. They're slightly larger than your, those maraschino cherries that we sell here in America. Try not to eat those too much. I mean, they don't really taste like cherries. They're just weird. These actually taste, as it says here on the label, simply delicious. Bada bing! We're going to shake this drink. I'm going to use this cute little glass here, which I haven't used in a while, but it's one of those glasses that has different recipes for different cocktails around the label. table. And I also think it might just be fun to be able to see the liquor going into the glass. This drink is also going to incorporate a little strange little thing at the end that I'm not quite sure is gonna work, but wish me luck. So here we go. Let's make the Aviation. First, we have 2 ounces of gin. 1, 2. Half an ounce of lemon juice. Half. And as you can see, I used fresh lemon juice. Always use fresh lemon juice. Always use fresh lime juice when you can. If you're in a pinch, of course, use the bottled stuff, but try not to use it because it's kind of gross. Now, about 1/3 of an ounce of Luxardo. 1/3. Now we're going to add ice to our glass. Use a crap ton of ice. Using my metal thing, it has a name. It's escaping me right now. Perhaps later I will write it across the bottom here of what this is called. There's a certain kind of shaker and I always forget the name, but here it is. Yeah, good seal. And shake it vigorously. Okay, I'd say that was about 20 seconds. Now we are going to strain it into a chilled martini glass. It's so chilly. This is my prized glass from my husband. It was my happy 50th birthday glass. Thank you, Sean. And now we're going to strain it into the martini glass. And as you can see, it's clear. Luxardo has a very clear color. It's not cherry colored. This is the thing I'm not sure about. So we don't use a lot of Creme de Violette. We're basically going to use a bar spoonful of Creme de Violette. Use a bar spoon and the Creme de Violette will sink to the bottom. Now, you may have seen people do this, bartenders do this before, where they pour it over the back of the spoon and it kind of goes down. I've never had any luck with that. It just doesn't work for me. I don't know why, I just don't have the technique. I guess I need to go to bartending school. Barring that, I'm just gonna put it in this spoon and then sink it and see what happens. Okay, so I'm gonna be very careful here. I don't want too much, just a bar spoonful. So I'm just gonna put it right down in the center. And it did. It sank to the bottom. Look how pretty that is. Oh my gosh, that's gorgeous. So there's just like a little purple haze there across the bottom. You see that? It's great. And I'll take my bar spoon and I'm going to get my cherry out of here. I think I'm gonna take the stem off. I don't know, for the aesthetic, I don't want the stem. And I'm just gonna drop it down in there. Yeah, so, oh man, so, oh wow, that is gorgeous. I think I wore a really good shirt for it today too, huh? A nice backdrop. All right, let's try the Aviation. Well, it's great. All the drinks I make are great. That's not true. A couple of months ago, I tried to make a drink that never made it to the program because I hated it. But this is great. It's kind of like I can taste the maraschino liqueur, but it's not overpowering because it's not super sweet. This is not a super sweet drink. What's interesting about the Creme de Violette is that it's kind of, there's a little bit of an essence of it kind of floating up a little bit. Like I can tell when I get to the bottom of this, it's gonna be like drinking a purple candle. You know what I mean? I mean, it has like a floral quality, but this is good. I mean, it's really delicious, the Aviation. Look how pretty it is. I hope you like it. I hope you'll try to make it. Next time on the program, I'm gonna use Luxardo again because, you know, I gotta get rid of the stuff. But no, I'm starting to realize that some of these more obscure ingredients, I mean, you have them around so you can make something different for people. Enough with the margaritas already. All right, that's the Aviation. I hope you enjoy it. Thanks as always for watching Harry Has a Cocktail, and we'll see you next time. Cheers.